Good to see you again. The last time we met, you had just come back from treatment. How are you feeling now? A lot of Kenyans would be interested to know.
Now I'm feeling far much better. The good news is that at that time I was being treated for cancer, the cancer of the esophagus. And that has now been declared to be cured by local doctors as well as the British doctors. I'm feeling better, I'm beginning to gain weight, and I should be around. I'm just waiting for recovery.
Yeah, that's very good to hear, sir. I'm sure that even now as you sit and reflect, you think about our country as well, and we are approaching an election in a month's time. As someone who has been around, someone who has even been in charge of an election, what is going on in your mind right now as you think about this election that we are going to deal with?
No, as far as I'm concerned, I would like to see our elections succeed. The success is not that of those who are running the elections or managing the elections. The success is for Kenya.
So what about in terms of the logistics? I mean, we are going into a very complicated election. For the first time, we'll be voting for at least 6 different individuals in one election. So what sort of a logistical challenge is that, given your experience?
It's a very big challenge. Not all our voters are educated. And to be told to cast votes for 6 candidates, I think it is a very difficult exercise. They will have to look at 6 ballot papers and to pick in each ballot paper the candidate of their choice. It has always been difficult even for them to choose a candidate from one ballot paper. Now they are going to do it to 6. I can see a big challenge to the voter and also to those who are administering the election, because it means the voters may take too long and you may not be able to complete the exercise within the period you had allocated to them. And since elections are not the type of an activity you can continue throughout the night, it's not a dancing occasion. This is something which must have a break somewhere. It means you'll have to break and go again tomorrow. So it won't be one day election as we had been told.
So do you fear that it might take more than a day?
I fear it might take more than a day.
Mm-hmm. And what risks, dangers lie in that, based on the kind of elections we've had, the kind of politics we have?
It is the misconceptions which people will start now having, thinking that during the night something must have happened. And then they begin not trusting the process. And that is the beginning of all the problems. I don't know. I know they have. I've even noticed they've reduced the number of voters per polling station from the number we had, but that does not help very much. So
if you were in charge, what would you be thinking about right now, given the enormity of that task, 6 elections, as you put it, in one day?
I proposed even to the commission itself, and I wrote in the papers before I fell sick that I would have split the election into 2 days. And what you do when you do that is to ensure you don't combine 2 elections, types of elections, which are not which don't attract a lot of attention. So if you can take the presidential, you do the presidential elections with the civic. You know, these county assemblies, those you can do together. Then the parliamentary and senate, you you can do together. And that way the presidential election will pull a lot of votes, bring civic votes there, and you get a good turnout also for the assembly. I know, I saw one of the arguments is security, but surely if we can't provide security for just an election, then what kind of police do we have? Then we should be able to provide security. Even those two elections, they are not going to be held one today and then tomorrow the other one. No, you have a break. And this commission has got very goodwill, a lot of goodwill from the people, let me tell you. Many things they are doing would have caused a lot of noise. But I can see there are people who are
like
very
what?
keen to...
Like what?
No, there are people are very keen to see it succeed. I don't know whether to show Kivuiti was useless, but they are very keen to see. They are supporting it even where areas where you can see strong weaknesses. For that reason, I'm sure if they were to explain to the people would understand.
What do you think needs to be tightened in the way that this whole process is being managed right now? We still have a month, maybe we can still change something.
That time limit in elections, you will have to allow flexibility. So I do not know if they have allowed that for whatever is remaining. It's very important for them to do so. This inspection of registers. People in Kenya don't even go to inspect registers. Very rarely. Even now, if they were to tell us how many people checked, it's probably because they are using SMS. But even when you check with SMS and you are told you are not in the register, and therefore go to the station, you know, what you didn't want to do originally, that's to go to the station. You are now being told to go there. You don't go. And if you don't go, that's the end of the matter. You will have to wait for election without knowing whether you are there or you are not there. I am sure there are thousands of Kenyans who do not know that they are in the register because SMS told them that they are not in the register. Go and check it, and they did not go.
Looking at the election environment, both from a commission standpoint and generally in the country, how much would you say has changed between the 2007 election that didn't go very well and the 2013 election that we are having in a month's time?
There seems to be now quite a feeling that our elections should be acceptable. I think that is there. And that is why there is so much preaching for peace. Some of the things which nobody was bothered about. You can see if you read the Krigler report on the religious groups and you compare now, there is at least an indication of a commitment for peaceful elections. And that is transcends all tribes, transcends all ages, transcends the tribe, the religious groups.
On previous occasions, you have mentioned that you believe that there are a lot of Kenyans, maybe not a lot, but some Kenyans at least, who, in your words, don't like you very much, say some things about you, blame you for what happened in 2007. Looking back, it's almost more than 5 years now. What do you think about that?
I think we are human. And I've come to look to consider those people who still harbor hatred for me. I've come to regard them as human.
If you met any one of them, what would you tell them? Someone tells you, I don't like you, you messed up our election.
I always say, I tell him, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You can keep your views, but when you cool down, you can come and we talk. So I can talk to anybody, explain to them that I've got nothing to do with the elections. Me, it's like a machine. Even here, our friend Hassan, who be brought results. Yes, I can see him saying that I will not announce them if they are rigged. How do you know they are rigged? How do you know they are rigged?
If you were to explain simply and ask Mr. Kivuiti what went wrong from where you sit, what would that answer be?
Me, I don't know if anything went wrong. I will say so. I do not know if anything went wrong. And that's the law is there, that if something goes wrong, go to court. I mean, if there were no courts, if there were no reliable courts, is it Kivuiti's mistake? All these years we knew there were no reliable courts. And then we start now blaming the courts when we now want to go there.
But what about the ones who say you were under pressure from somewhere to announce results that were not right?
No. The pressure simply was that results had to be announced. Because if you don't announce them, there are two things which are very, to me, they came to me protruded in front of me. One, here you are given the results in front of press. You know me, I didn't know which media was there. There's so many cameras, like I can see camera there, another camera there. Results are brought to you. What will you tell Kenyans the reasons for not announcing them and they are given to you? What will you say?
Is there something that you think you are yet to tell the country that would probably take away that perception that might persist?
Do you know, for example, I'm always being hit that I went and attended when the president was being sworn at night. Do you know, 2 weeks before the elections, or 3 weeks before the elections, I insisted, and I told the head of the civil service that we must have the swearing of the president in the public. We want this to be a custom, so arrangements should be made for that. And arrangements were made. For those in the media knows it, just that the media never comes open sometimes for their own benefit. Nyayo Stadium was prepared, and there were army men and others who were parading there and exercising there, so that swearing will be done there. They were there. You go and ask. They were there. They practiced for 2 weeks for the purpose of swearing the president in public. It's not insisted on that. Why would I change all of a sudden that and agree and swear at night? The point is we are given the results. Why do I bring them to my house here?
So were you shocked that the swearing in took place at night?
Of course, it was not at night, but I was surprised that we had to.
It was dusk.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like going to because we are not doing. It's not stealing that we must do it. In the fast fashion it's being done. I had been used to that before, but then even then it is because the procedure is not there, but now it is there. So I had asked for that, and people had started practicing. Those who are going to look after security, what have you, they had already started practicing. Our ballot papers were there and they were removed. Our ballot papers were removed from there and stored elsewhere so that they don't mix up the two exercises.
What are some of those things that we can expect that we don't know about you? Because a lot of people who, as I mentioned, would associate you with elections, especially the last one that wasn't very good, and not many other things that probably you would want people to know about you.
The Kenyans should know that the Kivuito ran the 2002 elections, and you said is very good. The same Kivuito did the referendum in 2005, which was a very difficult referendum. So there's nothing really me I want to write so that people can approve. They don't, even if they don't approve me, so what? At my age, you approve me for what purpose?
you.